like all of us have. So it's not your personal problem. It's the problem that we face very, very frequently. In the absence of somebody editing your document, that is quite a possibility. So one of the things that I did uh, earlier when I used to write was that whenever I completed an article, I just left it for 10 days, good 10 days, or at least a week. I would not touch it. Because what happens in the process of writing, we get so engrossed because it's like 2 3 months of writing, 2 3 months consecutively. You are thinking about the same thing, you are writing the same thing, you're reading the same thing. Because article writing is very, very difficult. I mean, no qualms about that. So when we take up this writing, we get so engrossed in the process that we fail to see our own mistakes. And that is why uh, uh, the best way possibly that I do, I mean, I keep it away for some time, like 1 week or 10 days minimum, and then I go back to the writing all over again. In between, I'm just reading, nothing else. I'm just reading on that topic. And then I go back to that article again and kind of start proofreading it I mean, small portions. Like I print one page and then proofread that and then go to another page. It's not like printing 18 pages together and doing it. It's just one page a day. I take my own sweet time to finish my research paper. I take a lot of time. In fact, one article at least takes about 3 to 6 months of writing in terms of how it goes. Like, it's an entire exercise that happens. It's not that I pull up something, I decide something to write today, and then in 10 days time it's written. It's never happened. And if it has happened, it has never got published. I'll tell you my initial experiences. When I was very, very young and I was writing, so I would always think, oh, right, article clear, okay, 1 month I would finish. But then those articles never got published. They were always rejected. And then in the process, I learned that it is not going to happen unless I invest a lot of time and a lot of reading into these writings. And there is when I started decoding the methods of how to publish or how to write a research paper in the first place. And then these are some of the things that you have to invest a lot of time. You have to bring your article to a kind of a logical end when you are, or opening for that matter, when you are writing that. So first is, of course, you leave it for some day and then go back to it. That might solve or reduce let me use a safe word, reduce your problem of getting on it. The second thing is about the language, which of course is about breaking. So I think you can get hold of uh, a good friend of yours who can edit a document for you and see from somebody else's perspective your article. It's very important to have some people in your life who you can trust with also your document. Like I would any day send my document to Dr. Divedi, and Dr. Divedi can send his document any point of time to me. So and we can edit each other's document and see the kind of lekine that is there in our writing. So in the same way, you should probably build that kind of confidence in some friend of yours who might as well be a colleague of yours, who you can completely trust in terms of sharing your document, and let him or her help you in seeing those small problems related to editing in the beginning. And a few times when this process happens, you will automatically start seeing your own flaws. But it's a collective process. I mean, if you want an easy process, it's a collective process. Else you learn it on your own way. It's a long process. Of course, you can as well do it yourself, reading and editing and everything else. But that's a longer process. It will take longer time because whatever you are doing best, you need somebody else's eye to see the kind of lekine that you want to see in your article. Want to see improvement. So your own eyes will never reach out to the kind of improvement areas that you can highlight. So you need somebody else. So like when I write, I give it to my students sometimes. I mean, absolutely okay. You proofread. And then they read and then they come with all the mistakes that I have done. And then they show me, ma'am, you have done this wrong here. Maybe this idea you can put in here. Absolutely okay. In the interest of your writing, do anything. So something like that.
Right. That pretty well gives me an idea how to, sort of, maybe we are biased also, and our eyes, as you said, would not see the mistakes. So yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's like your own child. It's your brainchild.
Exactly. I would say that. That is why we become biased to it. Even when somebody is editing, it's like they're cutting a piece of our heart.
Yeah. So even if somebody is doing that, don't feel bad about it. You think that you have sent your kid to school and the teacher is punishing only for the betterment of the kid. So something like that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tripathi. It's been a great session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nati. Yeah. So I had somebody, Professor Shashi or somebody.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Ma'am, actually, my concern is, ma'am, throughout the country, every now and then we are listening about declining interest of students in engineering education. And like you are also serving in engineering institution, how do you collaborate with engineering academics to ensure, they go well along with the budding technocrats of our country? This is a very critical issue which we are facing nowadays, ma'am.
See, I think sometimes what happens is that if there is too much of food on your platter, it kind of takes away the interest. Probably that is what is happening. Also, it's a transition. It's a phase of transition.
Yeah.
Like few years back, if you talk about, say, 10 years back, entrepreneurship was not a concept in our mind. But in 10 years, we have seen so many entrepreneurs. So much so that many of the institutions have entrepreneurship courses where these new venture people also come and lecture. These students know how to take bank loans, how to sell their products, how to sell their idea, all those things. So why I'm talking about is about this transition phase, is that from a very strict core of academics, wherein this was an entire platform to build engineers in due course of time who will be part of some MNC or some company or PSU, whatever, we are going into a phase where this engineering degree can lead to multiple things.
Yes.
And that is why probably not just students, also we are in a state of what we can say, unclear state, a state of chaos where nothing is very clear to us. What will they do? So while some student who says, no, after this, I will work for Google is fine for us, there is another student who says, no, I might go for a kind of an entrepreneurship where I'll sell these ideas, where I'll take up, some kind of internet stuff, internet security, cyber security measures. And there is some idea about, building some kind of things that help the railways or the medical, or for that matter, some kind of data analysis in terms of how language will be, emotional analysis, Facebook. So these are all new areas which students are exploring these days. So probably it's two-way thing, Professor Shashi. I think while our students are exploring our new set of avenues, I think for us also it's time for adjustment to these new set of avenues, because we are not conditioned. So probably it's kind of a double-edged thing. I think it will take also for us as academicians to understand the kind of exploring that these students are doing. Probably we are also we also have some kind of block in our minds. So that is why it is difficult for us to accept one day when in a third year, very bright student of ours comes and says, I don't want to work in Google and I want to do. It's like, when rank one says, I don't want to go to IITs and I want to study physics in IISc Bangalore. Yeah. So the parents get like, oh my God, what is this kid want to do? He's getting IIT Bombay and he's getting IIT Delhi and still he wants to study physics in IISc. But the son is clear, the daughter is clear. With this rank one, I want to study physics, because I have interest in physics. So, these days, so much of it is pinned around interest, passion, what I want to do, which was not the case in our times. Like, yes. Our parents decided, this is what you will do, and then done. Yeah. Something like that. I think it's an adjustment from both sides.
But, madam, one more issue which we are facing. Like students opt for engineering curriculum, but later upon during completing their degree course, they realize that they are not fit for that.
They are still in our phase. Their parents have told them, engineer bano. They want to become musicians. You don't know that.
मैडम एक इशू और इसमें देखा मैडम ये था कि उनको फिर बोलते हैं कि अच्छे से बुक्स पढ़ो, कम्युनिकेशन इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, इसीलिए आपका क्योंकि जो सब्जेक्ट है मैडम इसको मैं एम्फसाइज कर रहा हूँ. हाँ. उनको पढ़ने में परेशानी है, कोडिंग की बात करते हैं, कोडिंग में परेशानी है, लिखने में परेशानी है, तो मतलब एक मैस हो जाता है जब वो 4 साल खत्म करते हैं, उनको समझ में नहीं आता कि अब करे तो क्या करें.
और सर उसमें भी बड़ी बात है जब वो चाहते हैं कि उसका कोई रेडीमेड सोल्यूशन हम दे दें. हमारे पास आते हैं स्टूडेंट्स कम्युनिकेशन की प्रॉब्लम लेकर और मैं उन्हें बार बार बताती हूँ कि देखो मेरे पास कोई दवाई नहीं है.
Yes.
कि मैं तुम्हें खिला दूंगी पकड़ के और तुम्हारा हो गया काम. ये एक प्रोसेस है जिसमें तुम्हें जाना ही होगा.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is a process itself.
Yes. And you have to give examples. तो हमारे यहाँ कुछ हम लोग examples हर साल ही क्रिएट करते हैं. हम उन पे बड़ी मेहनत करते हैं. जैसे कि एक्स्ट्रा टाइम पे हम उन्हें बुलाते हैं, उनसे एक फीडबैक लेते हैं. जैसे किसी को स्पोर्ट्स में इंटरेस्ट है तो हम स्पोर्ट्स का एक सेशन देखकर आकर उनको उसको समझाने के लिए खुद कहते हैं. तो हमारे यहाँ जो एक चीज हम लोग करते हैं कि एक हमारे क्लास आवर्स के बियॉन्ड एक ऑफिस आवर्स होता है. उसमें कोई भी स्टूडेंट हमें लिख कर आकर मीटिंग कर सकता है हमारे साथ. तो उस टाइम को भी हम यूटिलाइज करते हैं स्टूडेंट से इंटरैक्ट करने में. और कुछ एक स्टूडेंट्स हम हमेशा हर साल चुनते हैं जिसके लैंग्वेज पे हम वर्क करेंगे और फिर उन्हीं को हम आइडियल बना के बाकी स्टूडेंट्स को बताते हैं.
ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बना देते हैं बेसिकली उनका.
हाँ, ऐसा करते हैं हम लोग हर बार.
जी. थैंक यू.
एक मॉडल तैयार हो जाता है.
राइट मैम, बिल्कुल सही. राइट. थैंक्स मैम.
Okay, so now due to the paucity of time, we won't be able to take up any other question. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for